Okay, so equipment as far as costs go and things that you would need to buy yourself would just be suit, goggles, and swim cap. So I've kind of given a little bit of direction, but really you have a lot of options for this. These are just my recommendations. So for a suit, it works best when girls have one pieces. We do diving and jumping and swimming at a faster pace. A one piece definitely works a lot better for the girls. And then for boys, jammers, which are the knee length tight swimsuits or Speedos. Both of those work best for boys. Swimming trunks can get really heavy and create a lot of drag. So unless you're doing that on purpose, I wouldn't recommend it. Goggles. So goggles are kind of a hard thing. You kind of have to pick your poison here. Goggles, if you invest in a good quality pair, then you won't have to buy as many because your kid is complaining that they're leaking or whatever it is, they're too tight or they pull their hair or things like that. However, you have to be on them to keep up with their goggles. Then you would probably spend more money if they're just losing them. So that is your own battle. But that's just kind of what you have to decide. Okay, for swim cap, we have Branson Wave swim caps available at the front desk for purchase for $5. I really like it when all of the swimmers wear those Branson Waves caps at meets. It's really easy for me and for other parents and fans to see where the Branson Wave swimmers are, just to identify you. It also really helps the officials to see that everyone is in the correct lane, and it creates team camaraderie. So definitely go to the front desk to buy a swim cap, a Branson Wave swim cap. For practice, that's where you can have your fun. If you want to buy a funky one or just one off at Walmart, whatever, then you can use those at practice. I would recommend silicone. They're a little bit more expensive, usually like $2 more, but they do not pull your hair and they don't break as easily whenever it comes to like them drying and that sort of thing. Okay, here's our schedule for our meets this year. There are just a few things I want to point out here. So the meets that are in yellow, that are highlighted in yellow, those are our team meets. So you are able to go to any of the meets, any of the invitationals, from Webb City to Nevada. You can go to as many as you would like. However, the team meets will have all of the Branson coaches there, and those are the ones that I'm really pushing because it's easier to create relays. It's easier whenever we have a ton of families for our swimmers to get around and to feel the atmosphere of that they're supported. It's way more fun whenever we have more swimmers. If we don't have team meets, then we just kind of have swimmers going just a few to each meet, and so we don't get the same opportunities that we can whenever we're putting all of our swimmers at certain meets. You are not required to go to the team meets to count for towards your 3 meets. It's just my recommendation. To be on that competitive team, you do have to go to 3 invitational meets. This is also the requirement to go to a championship meet. So for the B championship meet, you just have to have a time in the event to be able to swim at B's, and then you have had to go to 3 meets. You don't have to swim that event 3 times. You just have had to go to 3 swim meets and have a time in the event that you want to swim at B's. For A championships, you have to have a certain time, like a time cut, to qualify for A championships. You can qualify for A championships at B championships. So those are our meets. And then lastly, our home meet is June 26th, and it is just one day. I want